And here's your host, Steve Shedler.
Hey. Good morning to ya. It is time for the morning wake up. Thank you. Oh, you over there. I see you. Good morning to you. It's time for the morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media on a Wednesday, February 14th. It is Valentine's Day. I got my special Valentine's Day shirt on. We'll talk about that here momentarily. Our morning wake up brought to us by our good friends at Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa at 1516 A Avenue East, Oskaloosa. Call 641-676-1516. Get a hold of Eddie. Their hours Monday and Tuesday, they are closed. Wednesday through Friday, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Saturday, noon to 6. Sunday, noon to 4. There's no place like home Plate Sports Cards. Again, at 1516 A Avenue East, Oskaloosa, bringing us our morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. As you may have seen at the beginning of the show, I am dedicating this show in memory of Deb Clubb. Deb recently passing away. She was a big fan of the show. Let's bring up her information there. As you can see, a memorial service for Deb will be on Friday at Home Funeral Home in Sigourney at 6 p.m. Visitation starts at 3 until service time. Deb's 62 years old when she passed away late last week. And as I mentioned last week, Deb was a huge supporter of what I'm doing here on Steve Shetler Media, sent me several encouraging messages over the last few months, and was just a big fan of this morning show and what we were doing. She loved Neil and I when we were together on Wednesday mornings here on Steve Shetler Media. So, again, we dedicate this show in her honor, and I do wear this shirt in her honor. I'm going to take down the stuff so you can see it. It's a little bit wrinkled. It's kind of that silky-ish material. Quite the shirt. And I got to show you because Deb had messaged me, and she said that she was wanting, her and her daughter, I believe, were wanting to buy Neil and I some shirts to wear specifically for today, which is why we're doing this show in her honor today. And they got the shirts in the mail, and they dropped them off here at my house in Sigourney. And so this says, Steve and Neil, we thought you two would look great with these Valentine's shirts this Valentine's Day while on air. She goes on to say, we cannot wait to hear the compliments, LOL. So if you like the shirt, make sure you give a compliment or a comment in the comments section. She says, P.S. we would like for it to be a surprise to your fans. Have fun, Deb and Elena Clubb. So again, Deb, we celebrate you and thank you for being a fan of the show and for this great looking shirt. She'd be rolling right now. So if you like the shirt, This is Deb's. Deb ordered this, and Neil can't be here. He's having some health issues. I talked to Neil yesterday, and hopefully doctors are going to get to the bottom of his problems. But Neil can't be here. But maybe I'll go out and visit Neil later on today. Neil, if you're watching, let's see here. Maybe I'll bring you your shirt out, and we can get a picture with our shirts on together. So Valentine's Day, this shirt courtesy of Deb Club. And again, we dedicate this show in her memory. Thanks, Deb, for being a fan and for being a friend and a supporter of Steve Shetler Media. All right. Let's go ahead and look at our forecast for today on this Valentine's Day. Yes, today is Valentine's Day, February 14th. You got to stop into the Garden Gate. And if you haven't ordered your flowers or gotten a gift or gotten a card, they have what you need at the Garden Gate. It's not too late. You know, they fully expect some guys to come in late and get their flowers late. So you can do that. They have some flowers on hand. They have the cards. They have the gifts. Get into the Garden Gate at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. 641-622-3191. See Cindy, Danny. I know they've got a bunch of extra people in for Valentine's Day. It's not just, Cindy and Danny and Madonna trying to take care of everybody today. So they've got some extra help. So stop in to the Garden Gate for your last-second needs. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to noon, or 641-622-3191. The Garden Gate is going to be a busy place. They are going to be hopping today at the Garden Gate. Increasing clouds for today. Should be a really nice Valentine's Day. So get out and enjoy. Increasing clouds, a high of 54. Southeast winds will be a little bit on the breezy side at times, gusting up to about 20 miles per hour. Tonight, rain is likely, 60% chance, less than a tenth of an inch, mainly after 2 a.m. tonight. Cloudy and breezy, a low of 33. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, 42. Tomorrow night, a 40% chance of some snow after 1 a.m., a low of 26. And Friday, a 50% chance of some snow, accumulation less than an inch, and cloudy and 34, so getting more winter-like on Friday. But today, although a little bit breezy at times, should be a good day with a high around 54. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Hey, coming up later on today at noon, we will officially release our question of the day on the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page, and it's always brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. Again, they are celebrating their 18th anniversary all month long at Amy's at 202 North Main in Sigourney, 641-622-3772. Call or text for an appointment. They've got 18%, because it's their 18th anniversary, 18% off all products through the end of February. And then if you buy any tanning package, you can purchase a bonus 100 credits for just $18. So that's a big savings. And their anniversary open house coming up on Thursday, the 29th. So lots going on at Amy's Salon House and Spa. So your question, I'm giving you multiple questions. You can choose whatever you want to answer. You can answer all of them. You can answer one of them, whatever you want. So it's your choice. What is the most romantic thing someone has done for you? So that's an option for Valentine's Day. Or maybe on the other end of the spectrum, what's the worst Valentine gift you gave someone or someone gave you? So kind of a loaded question of the day. Questions of the day today that we are thinking about. So get ready for those. You can answer right now if you want in the comments, or you can save that for when we put that out officially on Facebook at noon today. Our question of the day brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. Hey, coming up later on this week here on Steve Shetler Media, we will have our Iowa Music Showcase. We're featuring Iowa's own Jake Simon. My old friend Jake. We've been friends for a few years now. I kind of got in at the beginning of when Jake started putting out music when it was on the radio, and Jake and I have had a relationship since then. So Jake going to be coming to Sigourney at Barnwired for our Iowa Music Showcase, 11:30 to noon. You can either watch it live here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or you can stop in live at Barnwired in Sigourney. Great atmosphere to catch some acoustic music, live interview, live original tunes, get something to eat, get some coffee, do some shopping at Barnwired in Sigourney this Friday, 11:30 to noon with Jake Simon. Saturday, of course, we'll have our sports section, the Coaches Show, the high school sports show, sports section coming up Saturday morning, live from Brothers Market in Sigourney, 8 a.m. Tune in for that. Hey, you still got time this week to get in your vote for the Keokuk County Hospital and Clinic's Athlete of the Week. A bunch of our area athletes duking it out on the poll, and you can get your vote in. The cool thing is you can vote for more than one athlete. If there's more than one that you like, of course, most people are going to root for their hometown athlete, but there's a lot of worthy candidates on our Athlete of the Week poll. So get those votes in. We'll announce our winner coming up on Friday morning officially. All right, what else we got here? We got Keota Eagle basketball coming up tomorrow night. There's a look at the bracket. Now, Keota won their game, so they move on to that next section, as did North Tama. So it's Keota against North Tama Thursday night at 7 p.m. It'll be at the Keota High School. If you can't make it to Keota, you can watch it, of course, here on Steve Shuttler Media. We'll have that game for you. We'll be following the Keota boys throughout their run in the postseason. Now, if they were to win tomorrow night, which they would be heavily favored to, they'll be playing a couple of games, potentially next week, and that would potentially lead into the state tournament. And there's going to be some road trips coming up next week if things go as planned. So, if you can't make those road trips next week, we'll have you covered here on Steve Shuttler Media, because I'll be making that road trip with my equipment. Eddie Conrad, Andy McGuire, they'll both be making that road trip so we can bring you our coverage of Keota boys basketball here on Steve Shuttler Media. So again, the next game for Keota against North Tama comes up tomorrow night. Tip-off at 7. We'll go on the air shortly before that. So tune in then. Let's get to some good mornings right now. Again, a happy Valentine's Day to you. Yes, I have my beautiful Valentine's Day shirt on, courtesy of Deb Club. We talked about that earlier. We're doing this show in her memory today because she wanted you guys to see me in this beautiful, beautiful red and gold Valentine's shirt. Kind of Hulk Hogan colors, brother. Good morning to you, Nancy. Good morning to you, Tracy, Dodie, Rick. Let's see here. Nancy, Sherry, Heather. We've got Dan. Thanks, Dan. You think I look great. Tracy likes the shirt. We've got Alan. Let's see here. Dixie, Sandy, Scott, Kurt, and Kathy. Hey, happy 33rd anniversary to the Rosabooms. Kurt and Kathy are faithful viewers in the morning. Kathy is a gigantic fan. She likes, shares, and comments about everything I do. So, excuse me, happy anniversary to you guys. Hope you have a great anniversary. Kurt and Kathy and the Shuttlers go back several years now. Man, longer than I think. Over 20 years, I think. Kurt's a fantastic drummer. I do a little singing occasionally. Kurt and I were in a band called Piercing the Darkness for several years. Happy anniversary to the Rosabooms. Barb, yeah, you've never seen anything like this shirt before. Neil, yes. Neil, thank you for joining us in the comments today. And yes, as I mentioned, in case you missed it, I might make a trip out to you, see you today, and we'll get a picture with our shirts on together. Bubby, good morning to you. Aaron, Heather, Renee, Jackie. Thank you all for joining us this morning here on the Morning Wake Up, brought to us by Home Plate Sports Cards in Oskaloosa. One thing I want to do, I was thinking yesterday, I do a Tuesday noon video for what's happening in Southeast Iowa, but I want to put a little bit more focus on, what you would consider like community calendar type of events. Free events that are open to the public, or maybe fundraisers for people in need or animals in need or, just stuff going on in the community. I don't think that video gets enough love, personally, and I think it gets overlooked. So I'm going to bring attention to some of those things that are in that video during the week here on the Morning Wake Up. So let's do that right now. Let's start up with that. Let's get my stuff out of the way there. So one thing I want to put a spotlight on is the Stephen Memorial Animal Shelter in Oskaloosa. They've got a can drive going on. That is going on now through the 17th. And that's at the Mahaska Drug parking lot. I'm assuming like pop cans and pop bottles. If you want to donate your cans and bottles, you can do that at the Mahaska Drug parking lot. Drop that off, and they are going to put those funds towards the Stephen Memorial Animal Shelter in Oskaloosa. So a great cause there. Make sure you take advantage of that. One thing coming up is the Savage Sips 1-year anniversary. That's at the Sigourney High School as they have their own little coffee bar area, whatever you want to call it. It's called Savage Sips. They have their 1-year anniversary coming up on March 1st, and you can check them out on their social medias, on TikTok, Instagram. That's at the Sigourney High School. They'll be celebrating their 1-year anniversary from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. on March 1st. I know I'm going to be going out and talking to some of the students that help out with the Savage Sips. That's open to the public coming up on March 1st, so something to keep in mind there. And then also at the Sigourney High School, at the Sigourney Elementary School, actually, the Sigourney Elementary Art Show is coming up on Thursday, March 7th. And that's at the Sigourney Elementary Commons area. Starts at 5 o'clock. You can enjoy the artwork, creativity, and cupcakes. So some art being displayed. Get out, I know usually people only go if their kids or their grandkids are involved. But, that's open to the public. Go out and check out the art and celebrate the arts and the kids and their work at the Sigourney Elementary coming up on March 7th. So just want to put some spotlight on some of our stuff going on in our communities, in our area. And if you have community calendar events that you would like me to showcase, be it here on the Morning Wake Up or maybe on my What's Happening video, which again goes up on Tuesdays, send them to me. I would gladly help you out. Again, we're focusing on stuff that's not like business related. If it costs to get into something, that's more of an event that you're making money off of. I don't want to do that. That's more of an actual advertising situation for something like that. But if it's free, if it's for a cause, if it's like a benefit, a fundraiser, a church event, something that's open to the public and free, let me know. Email me. If you have like a graphic that I can put up on the screen, that would be very helpful. You can email those to me at steveshetlermedia@gmail.com, and I would gladly put some focus on what you got going on. Let's go ahead and do some birthdays. Happy birthday. This is where I usually get a drink, but I already drank it. I'm empty. Got the last drip. The last drip of the Diet Mountain Dew. Happy birthday to you. Let's see here. We've got birthdays today. I'm looking over at my doorway because Stella is trying to make an appearance today. But she has not come full on into the studio yet. All right, birthdays for today. We've got magician, illusionist Teller of Penn and Teller with a birthday today. Teller is 76 years old. He's the quiet one, right? Doesn't say anything. We've got rapper, actor Ice-T. Ice-T turning 66. We've got Football Hall of Famer Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills, 64 years old. I know Jim Kelly has really battled cancer over the last several years. He's hanging in there, though. Jim Kelly, 64 years old. Actress Meg Tilly is 64. We've got singer Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20, turning 52 years old. I believe those are our main birthdays we want to touch on today. Yes, so happy birthday to those folks. Good morning to you, Eloise and Ron and Amber. Thank you for tuning in. In case you're just tuning in, we are dedicating our morning wake up today to Deb Clubb in the memory of Deb Clubb, as she gave me this shirt to wear specifically for today, and she wanted you guys to enjoy it. So that is the story there. So we're all enjoying this shirt today, courtesy of Deb. On this date in history, on Valentine's Day, February 14th, it was on this date, 1876, both inventors, Alexander Graham Bell and Elisha Gray, applied for patents related to the telephone. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Bell was the originator, so he got it. So Alexander Graham Bell, it was a tight race between him and Elisha Gray on this date in history. It was today in 1929, we had the little Uzi guns. 1929, 7 rivals of Al Capone's gang were gunned down in a Chicago garage in what became known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. All 7 ended up dying, but the St. Valentine's Day Massacre on this date, 1929. You don't mess with Al Capone. He will kill you. 1962, First Lady Jackie Kennedy started taking people on tour of the White House. That was the thing back in 62. It was today in 1966, Wilt Chamberlain set the NBA scoring record of 20,884 points over 7 seasons. That guy, I don't think Wilt Chamberlain gets enough credit. I don't think he gets his due in this day and age. Everybody talks about Michael Jordan and LeBron James, which they should. But let's not forget about the incredible numbers that Wilt Chamberlain put up when he was a player. That guy was amazing. On this date in 1971, President Richard Nixon installed secret recording devices. You really shouldn't put secret recording devices in your office, in the White House, I should clarify. So President Richard Nixon putting secret recording devices in the White House. And also it was on this date in 1984, Elton John married a woman. True. I mean, I'm not making things up here. Elton John was married to a woman in Sydney, Australia in 1984. Her name, I don't know what her name was because it's confusing. Renate Blaul. Marriage lasted under 5 years. I wonder why. Good morning to you, Kale. Good morning to you, Pat. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Today, of course, is Valentine's Day. It's also Ash Wednesday. It's National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day. Do you guys like the cream-filled chocolates? Do you like the surprise of those cream-filled chocolates? I don't like the surprise of the cream-filled chocolates because they're usually gross. If it's filled with like caramel or caramel, if you want to be fancy, then they're good with me. If they're not, if it's like something gross, it's like, no thanks. Let's see here. It's also National Ferris Wheel Day, and it's National Organ Donor Day. Let's hope it doesn't come down to that today, but a National Organ Donor Day also on Valentine's Day. What else we got going on here today? Things you need to know. Dictionary.com adding 1,700, that's 1,700 new words and definitions to their online dictionary this year. I mean, are we really coming up with 1,700 new words that we need to add to the dictionary in a year? Are there 1,700 words that we haven't been using in the history of mankind that need to be added? So evidently we're putting in words like, and these aren't even words. They're just maybe some definitions, 2 words. Girl dinner is now in the dictionary.com. Girl dinner. Also Barbie core. Slow fashion. And climate breakdown. Those have been added to dictionary.com. If that's like the cream of the crop of what has been added this year. I don't think I need to know the 1,696 other entries that I have never used and will never use. Other things you need to know. Did you see some of the Deadpool Wolverine trailer during the Super Bowl on Sunday night? Well, 24 hours after airing on the Super Bowl, that trailer seen by 365 million people online, making it the most viewed trailer of all time. So evidently, people are excited about Deadpool and Wolverine. DoorDash drivers aren't all that excited about Valentine's Day. There are rumors abound that DoorDash drivers are talking about turning off their apps, kind of like a DoorDash strike tonight during the Valentine's Day dinner hours. So we'll see if that happens. We don't have to worry about that in small town Iowa because there is no DoorDash in Sigourney, Iowa, where this show originates from. So I don't know if the delivery drivers in Sigourney are going on strike tonight. I doubt it. Let's see here. So, Super Bowl was Sunday night. We're just getting in some more information from Super Bowl numbers. But evidently Paramount Plus, which broadcast the Super Bowl the other night, announced that it's issuing pink slips to 3% of its global workforce. This comes off of broadcasting the most watched Super Bowl in history. And now Paramount is laying people off. It only accounts for about 800 workers in the United States, but that's still 800 people that aren't going to have a job. Speaking of the Super Bowl, they say that the Kansas City police, quote unquote, may have asked T-Swizzle, get that right over my heart. There, my heart. It's a double heart. They may have asked Taylor Swift to stay away from the Super Bowl victory parade today because they basically didn't want to deal with the crowds. It's already going to be swamped and swarmed with Kansas City Chiefs fans, but they didn't want to deal with the Taylor Swift effect as well. So I don't know. I don't know if she will stay away or not, but we'll see. How about President Biden? Come on, man. President Biden, President Biden was given the opportunity to speak live and do an interview on the Super Bowl, like most presidents have done in the past, but he declined. I think it would have been an interesting interview if talking to Joe Biden live on TV, get his responses. President Biden asking snack manufacturers, come on, man, shrinkflation. He wants more ice cream. He wants more chips. It is. I will say I completely agree with what he was talking about on his shrinkflation. Yes. We'll go back. I've said this before. You go back to COVID a few years ago. Prices on groceries, toilet paper, all that stuff skyrocketed for whatever reason. And then they never went back down. Same for everything during COVID. Prices just blew up. Cars, whatever. Everything. Prices on everything went up. And they've just never gone back down. But they use COVID as the reason, the excuse for prices to go up. But they've never gone back down at all. So at least give us our snacks, man. Other Super Bowl stuff, of course, there were a couple of streakers at the Super Bowl Sunday. You didn't see it on TV, but both were tackled and arrested. Also, did you know at the Super Bowl you could get special nachos that had crab and lobster in them? So crab and lobster nachos, and that was running for about $60 at your concession stand at the Super Bowl. $60 for some crab and lobster nachos. 123.4 million people watched the Super Bowl on Sunday. Most watched broadcast since the moon landing. As we mentioned yesterday, Usher, he did the halftime show, and then he went and got married afterwards. Also, Usher, I guess they're saying that Usher did invite Justin Timberlake to be a part of the halftime show, but Justin replied, he just didn't feel it. He wasn't feeling, performing in front of 123 million people. He's like, I'm good. I'm good doing whatever I'm doing. I'm all right. Thanks for asking. And also, if you're a fan of the dog that you saw in the Budweiser Super Bowl commercial, it belonged to Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. I don't know what that has to do with anything or why their dog got chosen, but it did. Let's go to Russia. Vladimir Putin has raised the age allowed to be an officer in the military to 70. So we got some older folks in the military in Russia. Let's see. A Methodist pastor in Connecticut being accused of dealing crystal meth out of his church's rectory. What's a rectory? He's 63 years old. That's the definition of Breaking Bad right there. I mean, if you thought Walter White in the show Breaking Bad was a bad guy, a Methodist pastor, a meth dealer out of the church's rectory, of all things. Straight out of the rectory. Where's Neil Crott when you need him? I need Neil beside me when I talked about a church's rectory. Let's see here. I got to catch up on my good mornings. Good morning to you, Molly. How you doing, Molly? It's been forever since I've seen you. Old classmate. Melissa, Sherry, Jim, Tracy again, Billy. If you're just tuning in, we're doing this show this morning in memory of Deb Clubb. She gave Neil and I some special Valentine's shirts, which is what I'm wearing this morning. So, Deb, we're thinking of you. Let's see here. Other things that you need to know, other than pastors and their rectory. I bet you didn't know that 90% of the Valentine's Day flowers in the United States actually pass through Miami. Where are they coming from? I don't know, but they go through Miami for some reason. This Sunday are the BAFTAs. The BAFTAs. Britain's version of the Academy Awards. So I'm really looking forward to the BAFTAs. Can't wait. Also, another thing that I can't wait for, there are plans for a Golden Bachelorette this fall on ABC. All right, by show of hands, who watches that stuff? The Golden Bachelor, or just The Bachelor and The Bachelor. Now there's a Golden Bachelorette that's coming to ABC. Come on, man. Good morning to you, Stephen Seeley. Billy Joel. His song Turn the Lights Back On the Billboard Hot 100. He's back on that chart for the first time since the 90s. So congratulations to Billy Joel. How about Pearl Jam? Pearl Jam's new album, Dark Matter, comes out on April 19th. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a good Pearl Jam story. You guys want to hear it? So, way back when, if you're a fan of Pearl Jam, they put out their second album, Versus. And that was back when it was cool to do like a midnight release, when you had to buy the actual physical CDs at stores. And so my friend Michael and I, who might be watching on YouTube this morning, he watches me on the tube. My friend Michael and I went to Iowa City to get the midnight release of the Versus album from Pearl Jam. And that's the album where it's the goat like up against the fence. I don't know if it's biting the fence or not, but so we got the album, we got the new CD, and we were coming home to Sigourney. It was late. And we were about 5 miles outside of town. We hadn't quite gotten to Lewis Rich at that point on our travels, if you're familiar with the Sigourney area. And I had fallen asleep. Next thing I know, I'm waking up, and Michael, who was driving, was weaving in and out of a herd of cattle. Cows were on the highway. I don't know if it was foggy too, but we'll say it was foggy because that makes it even more interesting. So we're weaving in and out of it was like I woke up out of a deep sleep into a living nightmare. We somehow missed all of the cows in the road, and I'll say the fog, which I actually don't know if there was fog or not. But, yeah, it was interesting. Waking up to avoiding and swerving around cows in the road. That's my Pearl Jam story. Thank you. Katy Perry. Things you need to know. Katy Perry announced Monday that she is departing American Idol after 7 seasons. Adios, Katy. Let's see here. You know that Jeff Bezos of Amazon moved from Seattle to Miami here recently. By doing that, Jeff is saving $600 million a year in taxes. Also, I wanted to point out, I was just looking at my screen briefly. I don't know if my lips and my mouth are matching up today, but last night I did make the trip to Best Buy and got me a new computer. Look. It's over here. I got it plugged in and charging up. So I'll be messing with my new computer. And hopefully it'll take care of these syncing issues. So my mouth and my words match up. So I apologize if that's an issue this morning if you're watching. Let's see here. I don't know if you knew, but now you do know that it's legal in the Netherlands to kill yourself, with assisted suicide, that type of stuff. So former Dutch Prime Minister Dries van Acht and his wife Eugenie, they both died by euthanasia on Monday. They were holding each other's hands. Both were 93 years old, and they evidently just decided it was time to hit the road forever. That's weird and wrong. Let's see here. If you want to know the latest about Harry and Meghan, you can go to Sussex.com. Sussex.com. That's SUSSEX.com. That's the latest news, bios, as well as links to all their stuff. If you like to know about the royals, Harry and Meghan, go to Sussex.com, where you can get all you need. Let's see here. Ellen Pompeo. I'm not sure who Ellen Pompeo is, but she will be appearing in at least 4 episodes of the upcoming 20th season of Grey's Anatomy, which I have never seen an episode of, so I don't know. Is Ellen Pompeo like a longtime character? Somebody tell me. Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. Billy D. has a memoir out. It's called What Have We Here, if you want to read about his life stories. And then also, if you're a fan of the Super Bowl or Buffalo Wild Wings, since the game went into overtime on Sunday, Buffalo Wild Wings giving fans 6 free wings on Monday the 26th of February from 2 to 5 p.m. So take advantage of that while you can. Hey, Aaron, glad you're liking this morning. I like to make people laugh. You can probably tell that on the Kyoto basketball games. As I was saying the other night, it's like, this is my business, this is my income, but I was kind of trying myself to derail the broadcast the other night by making Andy and Eddie laugh, but I do it to my own detriment. Hey, it's time now for today's Impossible Question. Today's impossible question. It's estimated that only 30% of people can do this. What do you think it is? Here, I'll give you a hint. See what I'm doing? I'm flaring my nostrils. Really? Only 30% of people can do that? I'm probably not doing it very... I should really get my nose right up in the camera so you can see up my nose. But it's estimated that only 3 out of 10 people can flare their nostrils. Are you doing it with me this morning? Good morning, Doug. I'm glad you could tune in right as I was flaring my nostrils. So, flare your nostrils. All right. Let's see here. I'm running long today. I need to pick up the pace here. It's Valentine's Day. Lawn Love. Why is there a website called Lawn Love? It ranked 20, and why are they ranking the best cities for local flowers? Oh, because it's like, yeah, all right, I get it now. So the best cities for local flowers, according to Lawn Love: New York, Miami, San Francisco, Seattle, and Los Angeles. I don't know why Sigourney is not on that list, because obviously places like the Garden Gate, James Family Greenhouse, hopefully I'm not missing somebody else in my sponsor list, but those folks do a great job with their flowers. So Sigourney does a great job. Worst cities for flowers: South Fulton, Georgia, Woodbury, Minnesota, Alameda, California, and some other places. Okay. Let's do something weird.
That is weird.
Oh, it's getting weird in here. It's getting weird under the sea. Under the sea. More than 10,000 years ago, humans constructed a long, low wall using rocks weighing a combined 150 tons. Now, this was discovered by accident in 2021. The Blinker Wall submerged 70 foot deep in the Baltic Sea. It's 6 miles off the coast of Germany, is now a candidate for the oldest known man-made megastructure in Europe. So now we're all smarter about that. Whatever. Let's go up to Minnesota. A Minneapolis couple remodeling their bathroom home made a surprising discovery behind a wall. A pair of love letters that could be nearly a century old. So that's kind of cool. Let's go to Kansas. A Kansas town unofficially breaking 2 Guinness World Records in recognition of International Pancake Day. The records for the longest line of pancakes and the highest pancake toss were attempted in the run-up to the 75th International Pancake Day race in Kansas. So Guinness World Records folks were on hand for that. Michigan, 64-year-old woman told Michigan lottery officials that she stopped at the Marathon gas station on her way to work and was talking with the clerk about retirement. When the clerk handed her the ticket, she said, "Well, I hope this ticket helps with saving for retirement." She then scratched the ticket on a break later on that day. She thought she had won $500, which would be nice. $500 is good. She actually had won $500,000. So congratulations to that woman. Let's go to China. 25-year-old Chinese office worker, I'm not going to attempt her name. We'll just call her Tu Fei, or not Tu Fei, says that her boyfriend has everything that she could ask for in a romantic partner. He's kind, empathetic, and sometimes they talk for hours. The thing is, he's not real. She's got an AI boyfriend, in a chat bot, an app called Glow. Her boyfriend, an artificial intelligence platform that is a blossoming industry in China. So
That is weird.
hit that button again. It's not a boyfriend. Artificial intelligence. You don't have a boyfriend. How about some snakes? Snakes! Rescues are what the U.S. Coast Guard does best, and in Florida, that apparently includes pulling strange wildlife out of embarrassing predicaments. As there's a baffling scene when a snake trespassed on government property and got knotted up in an $850 million piece of equipment. They say this unexpected stowaway was found napping on a Jayhawk tail wheel. According to the U.S. Coast Guard station in Clearwater, they wrote that on their Facebook post. Let's say the snake was removed fairly quickly by another crew member. It was released into the grass away from the hangar, and it was identified as a 2-foot corn snake, a species native to Florida. So, yeah. Interesting. And then finally today, in some weird news, Susan Hodgson of Atlanta recently received the type of call that homeowners dread while on vacation, as a panicked neighbor called her up to ask, "Did you hire somebody to tear your house down?" The answer was no. The family property, which had been boarded up but diligently cared for over the last 15 years, was mistakenly demolished after a local construction company went to the wrong address. So now, not only that, but the woman whose house was demolished is now facing some fines after her house was mistakenly torn down. They found some stuff that they're going to try to fine her for. So the house torn down, and she gets some fines on top of that. Well, with it being Valentine's Day, got like a few more things to run through here quick. Most popular movies according to who? This is according to Google searches. Evidently, the movie Elemental is number one. So if you're looking for a movie to watch tonight, Elemental. Followed by Titanic, No Hard Feelings, Past Lives, Where the Crawdads Sing, The Notebook, Her, Me Before You, 50 Shades of Grey, and My Fault. Those are your top 10 movies to watch for Valentine's Day, according to this. Top 10 facts about Valentine's Day. Some of these are no-brainers. Valentine's Day is on the 14th of February every year. It's a day to show your love. It comes from St. Valentine. The first Valentine's Day was in 496. Let's see here. About 85% of Valentine's Day cards are bought for women. 73% of flowers are bought by men. The oldest love poem was said to have been about 4,000 years ago. And red roses symbolize love. Files of Law and Disorder. In some disorder, a teacher near Montreal is under investigation after his students reportedly discovered their artwork for sale on his personal website. Again, that's a teacher selling his students' art and profiting for himself on his own personal website. Idiot. Good news. Let's see here. Here's the headline. Tractor driver hits stone and opens 1,700-year-old Roman tomb. So that was totally by mistake. But a guy plowing his field in Bulgaria hit a large stone with his tractor, opened up a unknown tomb, 1,700-year-old tomb in Bulgaria. In some
Duh.
A Texas man was shot to death after breaking into a truck while the owner was asleep inside with a rifle in reach, officials say. Deputies say the man only happened to be sleeping in his truck that night because he had gotten into a fight with his girlfriend. Now, it's likely the accused thief didn't notice there was anyone inside the truck. Deputies said at least 3 other vehicles appeared to have been broken into before the accused thief targeted the truck. Officials did not say if charges will be brought against the truck owner. But again, don't try to break into a truck in Texas, especially if there's somebody sleeping inside. You're going to get shot. You're going to get shot. Should we do some more Valentine's? I've been saving some of this stuff. I was hoping Neil would get in here one of these days. Because we're going to talk about these. Top 10 passion killers. According to the Daily Mail, top 10 things that kill passion in a relationship. Number 1 is weight gain or lack of exercise. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Number 2 is lack of money. Uh-oh, I'm in real trouble. Number 3, longer working hours. I am in triple trouble. Hygiene issues. I think I'm all right there. Overexposure to the in-laws, lack of romance, drinking too much, snoring, no more sexy lingerie, and number 10, passion killers, toenail clippings left on the bathroom floor. Barf. Ways guys can tell that a woman is wife material. She doesn't smother you. She wants to have fun. She doesn't mind having a good time. She's a great cook and enjoys it. She puts up with you. She's not a doormat. She's self-confident. She's sexy. She's good with her money. She has a sense of humor, and she makes you a better person. Oh. And then romantic Valentine's Day songs. I guess I only have the top 3. the top 3 romantic Valentine's Day songs today. Guys, you might want to try these. My Funny Valentine by Frank Sinatra, Love by Nat King Cole, and Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Little Ed, little red-headed Ed. All right, that does it. Again, we dedicate this show. I hope you got some laughs. I hope you had a good time. We do this show in memory of Deb Clubb. Again, she is the reason behind this shirt. She is purchased herself and bought and paid for these shirts for Neil and I. She dropped them off, and she, like I said at the beginning of the show, she had always sent me some messages the last several months. Since, my career change, she was always an encourager, always a good person to me. So, not going to talk much longer because I'll get all teary-eyed. But Deb Clubb, thank you, and thanks for watching.